Hi Julia Watts here, welcome to my YouTube channel. So again we're going to be doing some stamping with Sentimentally Yours, and I'm going to be using the new sentiment medallions and sentiment coins. So for this card I'm going to be using the vintage Paraphernalia sentiment coin. Apologies, don't have the packaging so I can't show you that. But you'll see them all on my website, which is juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and also over at honeypotcrafts.co.uk. But before we play with this one, I'm going to create a background so it can be drying. So I've cut a square out of the super smooth watercolour card using the Debossed double stitched squares, and you can see that lovely debossed stitched detail there, and it's the die that measures 6 inches square that I've cut out, whichever one that is. And you can see I've been quite frugal because I've cut some cogs, which are going to be my embellishments, out of the centre bit, because I'm going to put my sentiment medallion over the top. So it also means I'm not wasting so much ink, and when I do a little bit of stamping on the background, that won't be wasted either. So we're going to do an inky background. So first of all we're going to go with, I've got dirty marks on there. It's, honestly, it drives me nuts. I must have something on my craft sheet that's dirty. We'll hide that anyway. Right, okay. So we're going to go with Bundled Sage to begin with, Distress Oxide. So I'm just going to swipe a little bit of that on my craft sheet. And we're going to give it a mist with water. The more water you add, the lighter the colour is going to be. And I tend to use the edges to kind of move that ink around. And then it picks it up on the edge as well, which adds a little bit of detail to it. And then we're going to just pop it in. Very inky already, so I've got these holes in the middle. Doesn't really help, but just pop it in, pick some colour up like so, and that looks fabulous already. Actually, let's put that aside so that can dry. I've got loads of ink left over here, so do I want to? I don't know if I want to put it on my cogs or not. So let's grab another piece of card so we're not wasting it. Because I can always cut a tag out or something. I don't want to waste my ink. Look at all that ink there. That would be rude to waste it. Lovely. Okay, so that's going to go to one side as well. Not going to worry about all this excess here though. You can keep on going and going and going. Of course you could actually pick the ink up with a stencil brush and then stencil through. That would be really cool as well. Oh, talking of which, you've just reminded me of a stencil. I might change what I'm going to do on my background in a minute. Okie dokie. Right, so that while that's drying just at the minute, we are going to take another piece of super smooth watercolour card, and we're going to go to our stamping platform. This is the Press to Impress one, which I do have in stock. Let's put those there at the moment. Stuff everywhere. Right, okie dokie. So we're going to pop this on here, seat it in the corner, like so. There's my dirty bits. Right, turn it over. We'll go on the other side. I must have got some ink on my magnets. I did notice actually the other day that Phil's magnets are quite dirty as well. There's another dirty mark there. Where are these dirty marks coming from? Honestly, it drives me nuts. Right, let's grab our vintage Paraphernalia sentiment medallion. It's quite a mouthful. Basically, you'll find the symbols that are on this set coordinate with the Notebook Botanicals vintage Paraphernalia. So that's why Bill's called it this. So pop it in the centre there, and then won't pick up if I've got my rubber in the way, will it? My eraser. And then we're going to pick it up and roll it on back down so that we don't get an air bubble underneath this central bit. Don't worry anyway, because I'm not stamping into that. I'm going to build up from that, so it wouldn't matter if it was dirty anyway. And I'm going to use bundled sage again. I'm not going to do all of it with bundled sage. Bundled sage is the lighter colour that we're going to use. And then I'm going to go for frayed burlap as well. Don't often use frayed burlap, but it's one of the lighter browns in the Distress. Don't worry about contaminating your ink pads, they don't mind at all. Then I'm going to give it a mist with water. See if I can get it. I don't want to do too much. I'll do. And that just helps the Distress Oxide work on your stamp. It will mean that the image isn't quite as crisp as it might be if you're using, say, a Versafine Clair, but it's still a nice effect to get. And you can quite often see the water moving around on the stamp underneath as well. Let's see how that is. I can see the ink. Can you see the water pooling just there? So I missed a little bit up there. Let's see if I can get that bit up there. I'm not worried too much because I am going to have some cogs on there anyway. I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good to me. Let me show you. It's a really cool image. Right, so, and that will clean off with under the tap with a scrubbing brush. One of the colours has stained the stamp. I'm not worried about that. Again, no problem. So let that dry. The watercolour card is perfect for this technique. Let that dry and cut it out. But when you cut it out, do be careful because some of the ink may transfer to your cutting plates. So give your plates a bit of a mist and a wipe with water before you actually use them on something else. Right, so that's that. Clean that off in a moment. And then what we're doing next, oh yeah, we're having this as well. We'll use one of the acrylic circles now. So much rubbish. It's not rubbish actually on my desk, it's stuff I use. And I seem to be using more and more stuff, so my desk is busier and busier. Let's have the best day. What's going on here? And we're going to stamp this just using the bundled sage. So we're not going to go for frayed burlap as well. And I'm just going to mist it away from the camera this time. My first misting completely missed it. So we're going to have the best day. Give that ink a chance to settle into the card. I think that's actually better than the one I did first of all, so I might well cut that one out. because this is the one I've cut out.
It's not a lot of difference actually.
I don't know. I've got two now anyway. Okay, and again that will clean off with water. Then with my cogs, so I've used lots of cogs. Let's just grab it. Again, I don't have packaging for this, but you get a lot of cogs in this die set. And this one is available over at Honeypot if it's still in stock. Go have a look. I don't have it anymore. Okay, but this big one, I think it's that one. Is it that one? Yes, that big one there. The centre falls out, and that is the perfect size to then fit into the centre of this one, and you can still see the green line underneath it. So instead of just stamping directly into there, I'm going to stamp it onto here and have it raised. So that's like a win-win situation. So, you know, think about your waste that you get. I'm going to use the Have Fun. And this set I think is called the Essential Sentiments or something like that, for this sentiment coins. Again, don't have the packaging, so I'm struggling to learn the names without the packaging. So at this time I'm moving to Pinecone versus Fine Clair, so that we can get the I mean the detail's pretty good on the Distress Oxides, but I want this Have Fun to be a little bit darker. There's that Have. Ooh, come on, camera. There we go. Have Fun. It's cool, isn't it? Like I say, that's going to fit in the centre of my sentiment coin. And I've cut this out using debossed double stitched circles. See, that's going to go in there perfectly. And then I've cut out my sentiment coin, sentiment medallion, and this will go in the centre of there like that, obviously all raised up. And obviously this is, you can see the oxidisation on the ink. It's really cool. You don't get the if you don't mist it with water, you don't get that kind of milky oxidisation kind of feel to the stamp. It's a lovely stamp. And of course you can pretty it up, you can use flowers. I'm going to use Cogs, but you can use flowers as well if you want to. Right, so while I find the stencil and tidy up, because I think I'm going to use the stencil on my background, we'll just pause for a moment. Okay, so actually a few days has passed and now we're carrying on. So my background's nice and dry. I really like this background. I love the way that the bundled sage is pooled, and you've got different depths of colour, and you've even got a little bit of it almost looks like twisted citron, the colour that's coming out of that splat there. Really like that, and that will get mounted onto some coffee bean card. And this was the stencil that I thought might work quite nicely on top, which is the Machination stencil. So I thought that would be quite nice on there. However, I'm not going to actually use it. Mine's a bit dirty actually. I've been used in workshops and classes and things. So anyway, so what I thought I'd do instead would be to use the new die, which is the Brick Wall die, which again I've cut out of coffee bean. And we can decide to put it in various different spaces. So what we could do is we could actually have it perhaps over to the left, like that. And then we'd bring in our medallion, and then it could sit on there like that, which is lovely. Really like that. But what I thought I might do is actually snip it And so I have some in the left hand corner and some in the bottom right hand corner. So let's give that a snip, roughly in half, I think. Do we want to do it like that? Yes, we do. And so we'll have, we can actually go right into the corner if we want to, or as near as, and then we can have it in the bottom right as near as, and then that will go on there like that. I can see my snipped out bits there. Right, okay, that's all right, don't worry, I'll just snip them a bit more so they're a bit straighter. And we get rid of this little bit here as well. That's better, that's going to be neater. Like so. I really like that, I think that looks fab. Okay, so let's get that stuck. So, what should we do? Let's grab this so we don't make very much mess. Look, you can actually see now where my glue's to there, that line there, and it's been open since the 21st of July. That's amazing, isn't it? Really good value for money. Now, we don't need to actually glue that much, so we're just, am I bunged up? I'm bunged up, give me a sec. Should be good to go now. Just pop a pin. Thin pin. It's probably because I haven't used it for a little while. Do need some on the edges there so it doesn't lift up. I'm only using kitchen rolls so I don't have to clean up the mess. I think that's all we'll need actually. I'll use this bit here to dab it off. And this is our top left. I'm just lining it up with my Debossed double stitch. Hopefully. Yep, that's all good. And then we'll do this piece here. And that'll go on like that, so we see this side. Really like this die. I think everybody's going to love this die. So obviously, if it's a popular one, this is the one you need to buy first, because it will go out of stock and Phil might not reorder, because there's a certain quantity, minimum order quantity, and sometimes it's just not worth it. Right, let's dab that off on this side. And this is my bottom right. I managed to get some on my finger, on my hand, I don't know how. All good. And then this is going to go onto my coffee bean card. I don't need to ink around the edges, because remember when I actually created my background, I dipped all four edges of the card into the ink to actually move the ink around. So I don't need to do that. So again, PVA. If you just draw with it, So actually push the nozzle into the card, then you use less, so you're more frugal about it, and it's actually better. The card doesn't buckle as much. Let's just stand it so I can get that straight. So I've actually trimmed down the coffee bean card to 6 1/4 inches square, because I wanted a layer in between this and my next layer, and my next layer is 6 1/2 inches. So just to make sure that's flat, I'm just going to pop that underneath my mat, which has got an MDF board underneath, and we can start layering up. In fact, no, let's do this first. So I've created some cogs from the Lots of Cogs die set, and I'm going to show you how I've coloured those. Piece of kitchen roll, which has been loved before. So for these, I'm using 2 distress pencils. I'm using Frayed Burlap and Bundled Sage, so it's in the same colour system as the oxides that I've used. Frayed Burlap is from, well, Bundled Sage is from set 6. So those are all the colours that you get in set 6. And Frayed Burlap is from set 3. And you will find those over on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk. I don't know if Phil's got them on Honey Pot Crafts. Anyway, so very easy. I've got a water brush, and I'm just going to pick up some colour from Let's Go Bundled Sage first. Actually, you can see that you can flick it as well, which is quite cool. Let me just show you. You see the splats? That's quite cool, isn't it? But I'm going to pick up some of the colour and then just colour it in. I've only got the kitchen roll underneath so that I don't make a mess and I don't have a mess to clear up. Obviously, if you want it darker, you can go on with some more, like so. And I've done it a little bit like the Medallion, in that I've done like opposite sides. You could go direct as well, so you can go direct with it and then move the colour about. But sometimes you get a line, like there's a line on that. So, or what you could do is use a pencil sharpener and sharpen these into a palette, and then you can add water to those sharpenings, and then obviously just reactivate it every time you want to use it, because they're all watercolour. So that's my green, and so you have to put that aside to dry before you put it away, really, so it doesn't contaminate the other pencils in the tin. And then we're going to take the Frayed Burlap and do the same with that. I don't use Frayed Burlap very often actually, but it's a really nice warm brown. I'm really into my scorched timber at the moment. You can see where you mix them together, you get a slightly different colour, just like you would if you do mix any watercolours together. Where I spritzed it underneath, that kind of moves around. And again, if you wanted to, you could actually add some splats of the Frayed Burlap on there if you wanted. Okay, let's just colour that in a bit more, so there's a bit more colour down there, because it will dry a bit lighter. Okay, so that's my base. So I just need to leave that a minute to dry. So while that's drying, we'll actually stack up our sentiment coin, because we need to add some more to that. So, we want to ink around the edges of this. So I'm thinking we're going to alternate. So we've got our little stacked pieces here. So we're going to do frayed burlap around that, and we're going to do bundled sage around those two. Just to set them off. And just edge. I'm using the woodware applicator tools, and then you can get the refills as well. All on my website. I do like these. The woodware tools are very inexpensive. Not a big fan of those little tiny things that Ranger did, because the sponges, when you use them through stencils and when you use them on edges of card, they I don't know if it's because they're domed, they kind of rip. They don't have such longevity as these. These are quite hard wearing. I've had some of mine for years. Go around the sentiment. You can of course use smoothies, but I found that some of my smoothies went crusty. So again, I've stopped using those. That's my frayed burlap. No, it's not. It's my bundled sage. Burlap that's coming in here. We go around the sentiment coin with this one. Do watch out, I am going to do another video using the extra bits that I had, because obviously I've stamped it a couple of times. Once to try it, and second to show you. So I've got a different idea on how to use the extra bits I've got. So do look out for that video. Right, that's that. Let's stack this up. I've got 1mm foam tape on the back of the sentiment coin. And I am going to do this thing with the Pritt stick, or the glue stick. And no, I don't sell glue sticks on my website. They're widely available at supermarkets and on Amazon and everywhere. So let's see if we can get this lined up. Have the best day. How do I want this? Do I want this there? I think I'll have it like that. See if I can get in the middle. I think the middle. Okay. And we've got again another 1mm on the back of my Have Fun. Maybe I should have used frayed burlap, because that's not standing out, is it? Actually, it makes it look like it's continuing. Yeah, let's leave it like that, because it matches the circle underneath. So if I don't actually line it up properly, looks good to me. Okay, let's go back to our. It's not quite dry, but it's near enough. What we're doing, because I've already got one that's dry, that's fine. So we're going to go with frayed burlap again, and then into my Medallion stamp set. I'm going to take one of these border stamps. So we've got the one with the airmail postage paid, that one. And where's my block? Where's my fun block? Where's my favourite block? It's not. Oh, there it is. Put it back where it normally lives. So we're going to Frayed burlap this, just to add some more interest to it. And then we're going to mist it with water, just one mist. And I'm going to start not quite at the top. Probably didn't actually, because it's damp I might not mist it. Let's not miss this one, let's see what happens. That's better. Doesn't matter, it's a distressed cog. If it was dry, definitely mist because it makes it a better impression. I've just got one down the bottom there. So now we've got a little bit of detail to it. That's a cog. There's one side. Obviously this will clean up quite nicely. You can just do it with water and it will, some of them stain, this one does stain, not a lot, but always clean your distress inks off your stamps, and if you actually stamp with paint, that's very important to clean that off straight away. Okie dokie, that's that. So that's how I've got all my cogs, and I've got all my cogs here. You can see that there's a little bit of, I love this.
Can you see that oxidisation that's going on in there?
I love that. I love that. Right, okie dokie, where are we at underneath here? Let's get this on our base layer. So I cut the next size debossed double stitch square out of the Olive Grove card, and so this is going to go on here like that. So we're going to bung foam tape on the back of this, I think, and as it's going to the studio it's going to get 2mm on it. I need that bit of 1mm, I'm going to keep that because I shan't be sending this. I have asked the question as to whether the 1mm and 2mm foam tape is going to be available at Creative Expressions again, but I haven't heard back from them. I imagine it will be because it always sells out, so you know, if it sells out it makes sense to restock it, doesn't it? But that's why I haven't restocked it, because I can't get any at the moment. Let's get that back off that. If you haven't got nails, you can use your tweezers to get the back off, or a poker tool will start you off as well. Let's get that bit. I'm going to pop some Prit on the back. If you've got glue sticks, do use them, because I kept some. I don't know if they were a cheaper brand. I think they probably were. I had some for a few years and they shrunk and they went all hard. So they ended up in the bin. It's like most products actually, most mediums. If you don't use them, they might not work anymore. Right, which way was this? This was that way, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's get this on straightish. Okay. And then we're going to bring in our medallion, our layers. 2mm foam tape on the back of this. Feel a bit proud because this is going to be stacked up quite a lot. I did consider actually with the cogs whether to actually dunk them in Versamark and then emboss them with clear embossing powder, which would be quite nice. Or you can use the tinting powder from Woodware. which is this one. Oop. This one, Cosmic Shimmer tinted sepia, tinted powder, soft sepia by Frayed. I think that would look nice on top, but do you know, I decided not to. I thought we might as well get this card made, otherwise if I keep on doing things to it, it's never going to get done, is it? Right, so we're going to stack these up. So I thought what I would do would be to have one large one up here, and that's going to go, let's have this up the right way though, seeing as it says postage. Oh, the smaller ones I actually stamped with the bundled sage. Let's see if we can get that in focus. Don't know if you can see, it's just added a little bit of interest to them, but they're in bundled sage, just so they're different from the bottom layer. So that's going to go on there like that. This one is going to have this one on top, and then I'm going to have that there, I think that's how I planned it. Right, so let's get these stuck together. I don't think it really matters which way the writing is up on the, I can't even see what it says. I think I'll use a different stamp on the small one. So obviously we're only going to get a little bit of glue around the outside. Hopefully that's enough to stick it. Soon find out, won't we? Dab it off. And postage paid. Yep, that's good. You could actually ink just around the edges as well. I might do that on the bottom layer. That's my Frayed Burlap one. Too late to do the other one, so we'll just do the bottom one. That's better. So I'm not sure how to raise. I might have to put a bit of foam tape underneath. This is where glue gel is brilliant, which I don't use. I haven't even got any to use, I don't think. Oh, it's going to go there, isn't it? Put the glue in the wrong place. Oh well. Which way up that? Oh, I'm trying to get it so it's even. The best way is to do it from underneath. And we'll Frayed Burlap the edges of that as well. So my part 2, like I say, it's going to be different, and I'm going to pretty it up as well. That's the plan. Goodness knows how long it'll take me to do that. Hopefully not too long, as it needs to be sent off. Now, remember, Julia, put the glue around the outside edge. So, dab it off. And I did a better job at lining that one up. the edges. See, I haven't had to dip because distress does stay, both oxide and regular distress, they do stay wet quite a while, so sometimes you don't need to dip in again.
Looks fab, doesn't it?
Okay, right. That's one side. I'll figure out how this is going to go so that it doesn't. I need a little bit of 2mm foam tape because that's what's on there, and I think I'll need to cut it into little tiny pieces, which will then bung up my scissors. Let's see how many we need. So which way up is it going? I need to figure out. Oh, that way up. Right. So in that case, we want a little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit there. I reckon that'll do us. Yep. And so then we want glue on the rest. Let's go up the spokes a bit. Take the backs off. And for a bit of insurance, we'll have a bit of glue on there as well. Okay. Let's see. Oh. This is always the fiddly bit. The embellishment bits always take the longest. Okay, that's that. Right, so which way up does this go? That goes that way. And that one's going to go that way. Right, so this one's going first, so we want a little bit on here. Sorry, you can always fast forward. At least you're seeing me try and work out what I'm doing in real time, because I haven't got a clue. Oh dear. I don't often make kind of men type cards. I prefer to do pretties myself, but it's fun doing the techniques. It is the techniques that I really like. And of course, if you actually did this with pretty colour ink, so you could use, say, let me think, you could use a nice one would probably be spun sugar and tumbled glass. That'd be quite nice together. Or milled lavender and tumbled glass. That would be very nice together. That'd be very pretty. Or you could go to the oranges and yellows and perhaps use carved pumpkin and mustard seed. That would be quite yummy as well. Let's see, that's going to go over there. Like that. And the last one, figure out where I am again. I'm going to have a couple of, one or two. Let's have two closer together though. I mean, there are so many colours of distress that will work with these. Just pick your favourite colours. That's what we always tend to do anyway, don't we? We always make cards in our favourite colours. I do like brown and green together though. I do like brown and blue. That works really nicely too. So you could use like faded jeans and brown would I put with faded jeans? Maybe vintage photo, or maybe not. Let's have that overlapping. How's it looking? It's looking all right. I am going to finish off with a pearl in each corner. Although it's a man's card, I'm going to use a warm cocoa because I think that'd be quite nice. We could, let's see if it will work. It might not work. Where's my pickup tool? It is. A bit froggy, aren't I? Because you could put a pearl in the centre of these. That looks silly. Now look. I like it on that one, but the hole is too big on that one. So look. It's not that bad actually. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get some glue on here. Let's finish this card off. I seem to be doing this forever. Right. So we'll have some glue just in the centre of there. In the centre of that one. Don't know if it will actually pick up that. I might have to do it around the edge. And then we'll have one in each corner because we can. I can't be doing with empty corners. Although the brick wall ones aren't empty, I can't be doing with empty corners. All this work on here. Yep. Good, good, good. Now, that is a problem. Oh no, it is hitting the glue. We might need a little bit more glue because you've got the brick. Just give it a little shake and the pearls end up the right way up. It's a lovely rich brown, this warm cocoa. One more in this corner. Let's have a little bit more glue on there. Don't forget your pickup tools, essential tool. If that won't stick, I'll put a little bit of foam tape underneath, just a very thin one. There we go. What do you think? It's semi-pretty, isn't it? Do watch out for part 2, that will be pretty, I promise. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget you'll find all the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and there is a list of what I'm using in the description, and you will also find them over at Honeypot Crafts as well. And do like and subscribe if you're not already on my YouTube channel. I love to read your comments and check out some of my many other videos as well. And thank you for watching.